I just came up with a new video idea because over the last few days I have been wanting to make videos, but I have often not uploaded them. And so I decided just right now that I'm just gonna do less of a video and more of a podcast. So the main reasons why I make these videos is one, to try and get better at speaking, and two, to also just organize my own thoughts for myself. And then, of course, the more organized my own thoughts are, the better I will probably also get at speaking. Now, this probably means that I will also start a different channel because I also want to make videos that are actually focused on performing good at YouTube. But in order to get good at speaking and in order to just get my 30 minutes of speaking training in every single day, I will just make 30-minute videos where I just talk about whatever is on my mind, and I will try to get better at speaking, better at organizing my own thoughts, better at conveying my own hopefully better organized thoughts to the outside world, and then I will upload that 30-minute video, and I will do so every single day. And I'm thinking about, I will probably call it daily video 1, 2, 3, and so on, but I think about committing to doing this for 30 years and just see what happens with my life if I train speaking every single day for 30 years. Now, what do I want to talk about right now? I think I had an idea of what to talk about in my last video that I just uploaded, and I have already forgotten it. Which brings me to a good topic to talk about, and that is the fact that I have become incredibly scattered. I don't even know if that's a real word, but I think it is. I have become incredibly scattered mentally over the last year or so. I essentially realized it when I was writing my bachelor's thesis, which was in March and April 2024, so almost a year ago now. And I had real problem sitting down and focusing. And I also realize it right now in different areas. The two main ways in which I realized that I just have a real problem focusing on things is when I get up early and I do my exercises. I already said this in the last video, I think, but I just randomly sit down and probably, I don't know, I'm not really aware of what I'm doing because I'm lost in thoughts, but probably just sit down and stare into the void and think of certain things instead of doing my exercises. And so my ability to focus is so bad that I can't even be in a room and just do certain physical exercises consecutively for an extended period of time. And that's a fucking very bad sign. And then the second way in which I realize it is these videos, because I am not really able to talk about one topic in a focused way. And I mean, this is partly because I'm probably just bad at making these videos, but it is also because I get caught up in thoughts that not really, or in topics that not really are part of the main thing that I want to talk about, but that I kind of think of as I talk because it's connected to the main thing, and then I just talk about that for 2 or 3 minutes, and it's like, that's probably not so good either. And I wonder what the cause of this is. And it is most certainly, it is spending too much time on YouTube and also on other social media platforms. So I've been in a school community, and honestly, I think it is, for me personally, it is also not good to be on school right now, because the way it is structured with all these community posts, it's like you just have 1,000 different sources of information at your hands, and I'm very bad at properly, what's the word? At properly like ignoring the things that are unimportant. I don't know the English word for this. And so I also decided to get off school. Now, I also really want to basically get completely off of YouTube. Ironically, in order to, or one of the ways that I think I can the ways I can remember to do this is by writing down a quote that I did see on YouTube by it was a Hollywood actress. I can't even remember her name. That's another sign that I'm not really good at, that my brain is losing power. Like, I start really forgetting the names of certain things and people. Or I need like a long time to think of them, which might be like also caused by just the modern lifestyle, but that's not what I wanted to talk about. It was I don't even know her name. I can't remember it. Not completely, at least. Anyways, it was a Hollywood actress, and she explained it very well. I don't remember how she explained it, but I did save the video, and so I will basically transcribe it and put it on the list of quotes that I try to read daily. And then I also want to start tracking not doing any YouTube next to tracking NoFap, because it is, in my opinion, even more important than NoFap. And let's see, maybe I can rebuild my mind and my brain over time when I manage to abstain from YouTube. Now, the problem with this is, of course, that one, in order to upload these videos, I have to open the YouTube app, and it's a big challenge not to watch any videos. Or I find myself often watching some videos on YouTube instead of uploading the video that I just made, which is also a huge problem. And then also, if I want to make better videos, I think it's very useful to watch the videos of other content creators and see how they are structuring and making the videos in order to learn from them. But for that, I also have to be on YouTube, and so it will be very hard. It is basically impossible for me not to be on YouTube at all, and the only thing that I can aim for is to be very focused when I am on YouTube, which is incredibly fucking hard. But maybe I can just see that as another way to practice presence, even though I already have more than enough reasons to practice presence right now. Okay, so the question that I tried to talk about, or the problem that I tried to solve with this, was, one, I am incredibly unfocused, and then I think the main cause for that is because I've spent way too much time on YouTube. And so essentially the question was, how can you spend less time on YouTube? But damn, it's really hard. Like, my only answer literally is, 1, I read a quote from some successful person explaining why she doesn't watch YouTube. 2, I track it on my habit tracking sheet. And 3, I try to be very present and focused when I actually really have to be on YouTube. That is an incredibly bad plan. But anyways, maybe it's better than nothing. Okay, is there anything else that I want to talk about? Yes. Something that I have been thinking about is the fact that I actually absolutely hate how I spend my weekends. Because right now, what my weekend looks like, and that's if it goes well. And to be honest, most of the days, arguably 90% of the day, arguably 90% of the time, the way my weekend goes, arguably 90% of the time I fuck up my weekends. But even when I think about it now, or what I just realized yesterday evening and this morning, is that I even hate the optimal plan for my weekend. And so the plan is to get up at 4 a.m. as usual and do exercises for 3 hours and 30 minutes, which is completely fucking crazy, but that's another story. That's not even the main problem here. And after that, I essentially do all the things that I have to do to care for my household. So I go grocery shopping, and then I do some meal prep for the next week, and then I also do some cleaning in my apartment. And the thing is, I start doing these things at around 7:30, 8, and then I'm done with them, if it goes well, at around 12. But then I haven't even eaten anything, and so then I have to sit down to eat, which oftentimes takes at least an hour. But then because I am somewhat exhausted from like doing my exercises and from doing all the things I have to do in the household, all the groceries and stuff, it oftentimes takes way longer. And so then it's like 1 p.m. So it's 1 p.m. And so it's basically more than half of the day is already gone, and I haven't really done a single thing that I enjoy, and I haven't been outside, which is also something that I want to do on the weekend. And then I also want to kind of try to get ahead in life on the weekend. And so there is like, it's like I don't really get ahead on the weekend like this. It is so far in 4 months in my new apartment. It hasn't there hasn't been a single weekend where I was like, oh, this was a weekend where I really got ahead in life. And I also get basically zero relaxation. And so those are like two of the problems. And really just the main problem is that the way I want to live on the weekends is I want to get up, do my crazy 3 hours and 30-minute exercises, but then I want to be basically, I want to have free time and decide freely what I want to do. And that is just absolutely not the case right now. And so I have to think about how I can change this. Which is challenging because it's like, can I go grocery shopping during the week? I probably can. Like, even with YouTube, I can definitely at least do 30 minutes of talking and then, eat my stuff and meditate. I think I can do this I think I can do this even if I go grocery shopping, especially if I really leave work on time. So that is something I could do every Thursday again, which I used to do. Then of course the question is, or the challenge is, to actually get all the things that I buy into my bags, but I potentially have 3 different bags I can fill. And so that should be pretty doable, to be honest. Yeah, I think it's a pain in the ass to then go on the subway with these bags, but I think that is doable. So that's something that I can move away from the weekend. But then the question is, I also have a car, and I think I definitely should move the car once per week. And the only day where I move it right now is every Saturday when I go shopping with the car. And so the question is, how the hell am I gonna move the car? Now what I could do is I could just go shopping every Thursday and just try to drive home early. Or I could do it every Tuesday, because the thing is, at work, I have a meeting that starts pretty early on Tuesday, so I have to come in earlier than I normally do on Tuesdays anyways. And that means I can also go earlier on Tuesdays. And then I could be home early, and I could drive grocery shopping like I normally do, and do it on a Tuesday, and instead of somewhat an okay amount of time in the evening to do my stuff. And that's probably the best idea. Probably the best I can do. And then I can also try to optimize my morning routine, of course, in order to come home, in order to get to work earlier, so that I can come home earlier and have a bit more free room. So yeah, what I think I should do then is I should go grocery shopping every Tuesday. Now, a problem with that is that this means that I only have a tiny refrigerator, and so this will be a bit fuller then, because I do all my meal prep and cooking on the weekend, but okay. So then I can at least cut out grocery shopping out of the weekend. And then the other 2 things that I do on the weekends is doing meal prep, which is 2 things, which is one, doing smoothies, which I will stop doing now anyways, because I have stomach aches almost all the time, and I think drinking my way too big portions of smoothie every morning is not helping with that. And then the second thing that I prepare is some curry, which I think I will stop doing as well, because one, it takes eternally on the weekends, and also because I'm also not sure how well it helps with my stomach. I mean, I will keep doing the curries probably for another 2 or 3 weeks before I change that, because I want to make changes to my nutrition slowly, so I can track back what change to my nutrition might lead to changes with my stomach, but yeah. But the problem remains that I still need to prepare my meals on the weekend. However, I do think I can probably really speed it up at least. Like if I get done at 7:30, I can probably get all, and I don't have to go and buy groceries. I can probably get all the meal prep done until 10, and then I can be done with eating at 11, which is already 2 hours, which is way better, and then I can arguably even, like over time, I can then arguably even cut it down to doing meal prep on only one day and cutting out and pushing like cleaning my apartment and stuff, because I think if you do it consistently, it really shouldn't take that long. I can maybe also push that into the weekdays, and I really might be done with everything I have to do by 9, which would then be quite fine. That is acceptable. So okay, so the way I will write this down is I have my list of experiments I want to do in my life that I also read daily, or try to read daily. Didn't work the last few days. And then I will put it there, and I will try to make those changes. And so I don't forget to do this, I will once again write it down on my to-do list. And so really this is, let me write it down in a second. Let's call it Obsidian. That's where I write down all my stuff. And in Obsidian, changes weekend. And the key things are grocery shopping on Tuesday, and cleaning during the week. Okay. And so in the past, this is the next topic I will talk about. In the past, I really struggled with actually making changes in my life. So what I would do is I would sit down for ridiculously long times and journal and think about changes that I want to do in my life. But I didn't have any reminders or anything. So I would journal, say, oh, I'm gonna change this and this and that. And then I would close my laptop and go do something else. And then 3 days later, I would realize, oh, I journaled about this thing that I wanted to do that was actually quite important for my life, but I completely forgot to do it. And then usually I would think, anyway, and just keep doing whatever I was doing at the moment. And I'm really trying to change that now. So what I do now, I mean, this is basically my reflection time now. And what I try to do now is I immediately make a note, and then I put that note somewhere where I know that I will find it when I go through my day. And so then I ensure that I actually properly apply these things. And then of course I also have what I call my daily reading paper. I don't know what I call it actually. I don't know what the English name would be. So basically, I have a bunch of Obsidian documents, or an Obsidian folder, which I just try to read daily in order to remember the most important things in life, and in order to also just remember the things that I want to say no to in life. And that's where I try to put most of the changes that I intend to make right now, because right now I'm very bad at just immediately making changes. And so what I do, I create kind of lists of experiments where I say, okay, I'm going to keep doing what I currently do for the next 1 or 2 weeks, and I will try to do it consistently, because most of the time I don't do what I want to do consistently. And then after 1 or 2 weeks, I will make this improvement or that improvement. So yeah, that's it for the do I really want to have my first 30-minute video not be 30 minutes? I don't think so. So what else do I want to... What other problems do I have in life right now? That's a good question. Oh yeah, I also want to kind of improve the apartment that I live in, because I basically hated it when I first came here, and now I got somewhat used to it and I'm feeling better in here. But there's still some improvements that I can make to the way that that my room is organized. And so that is something that I want to do over the course of the next months, because I'm finding it really hard to actually get things done. And so what I want to do is I want to change the way my books are arranged. And I have one, I don't even know what it's called in English. One like storage room outside, or like not outside, in a different room. And there's just a bunch of shit that I don't really need. And so what I want to do, I want to throw away most of that shit. And then I'm also going to buy some new barefoot shoes in the coming weeks. And I still have a bunch of old shoes, and so I need to find a place to properly store those. So really I want to just improve the way that I organize things in my apartment, because I'm not very happy. I mean, it's not that I'm unhappy now, but it's like I see things that I can improve, and if I have learned one thing over the last few months, it's that you definitely should improve the things that you can improve. And I mean, you should probably do it as soon as possible, but that's the part I'm still struggling with very hard. And I can actually talk about why I'm struggling with it. And I think it has to do with prioritization, because that's really what I struggle with. It's like, how do you properly prioritize what to do? And I think if I can find a system to, one, prioritize very well what I should do next, and then two, as an extension of that system, if I can be very clear in the things that I should not do at all, and if I can then actually consistently avoid those things, then maybe I can also get better at doing the things that need to be done fast. But yeah, that is something that I will probably spend an improperly big amount of time on thinking about. That was a weird sentence. That is probably something that I will think about more than might be good for me in the future. Let's see.